Yeah.
Same thing.
Okay, man. Off and running. Hey, Phil, what's up, man? Big P, got you, man.
Welcome, everybody, to the Tuesday night meeting. We didn't meet last night, so it's sort of a combination meeting. We got to decide what we're going to do with the Collab project. Everybody, for those of you who don't know, we save these times to get together with our people because we're in the middle of constant change over here at Pax Stereo TV as we prepare for the upcoming South by Southwest Conference, where we're going to be attempting to make a press and presentations, get to know people, that kind of a thing. So we have these weekly meetings where we get together and do things. Now, Mac, I'm still behind on your stuff, so I want you to know, I'm still behind on Mac's. That's the whole login issue, so I haven't had any chance on that. So, but coming up, and that's part of the whole reason for these meetings, because we are restructuring. Got to make this time to make sure we address everything. Now, you guys, for those of you who don't know, the Collab project was a project that really sprung out of the spirit of what we had discovered at dig.ccmixter.org, or for another sister site, ccmixter.org, which is where artists were collaborating across the continents and really getting great promotion. All the music that you heard leading into this show is an example of exactly those kinds of projects and those kind of music. That music is available for free. Well, we did our own version of that, which featured a musical beat. The whole thing was suggested by Philip Custard, a.k.a. PMC, coming out of Pittsburgh. And he sent out the musical track and then proposed the idea of doing a project. I ended up writing lyrics for that, and the song became Make It Up to Me. And then we also had Paul Russo come in and lay sax, and the Empress DeVoe laid a vocal version. We also had background tracks added by Kimberly Lola. Okay? Now, I think, Vic, that I've transferred over to the right computer.
What do you mean?
Well, I had to move stuff over so we could listen to it.
You're talking about the track?
Yeah.
Because it was on your... Well, yeah, that's true. You did.
It suddenly occurred to me at the last moment.
Because you've updated the system since then.
Yeah, and I'm a little rusty.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, while you're checking that out, what's up, Norm, Mac? There's a couple of things going down. I would be shocked if we get many viewers at this time. You got the presidential speech going down. You know what that is?
State of the Union.
Yeah, you got to sit back and give respect to that. And then also what's mobilized the nation is the manhunt for Christopher Donner. And that has kind of put people in a different sphere. So I'll be shocked if we get a lot of people here because, I don't know if we can top both of them, man. I'm sorry. Not even close.
Well, that's okay. Because the whole idea was, first of all, the Collab project, we have to decide what to do with it. Now, and everybody can give their opinions. Now, let me tell you what my opinion is. What happened is, in listening to the track, we'll tell you, why don't we listen to it first? Full vocal mix.
Apology accepted. It really is not all that serious.
This is the vote for you new viewers and listeners.
But I do.
Spoken word.
Truly, I do
Collab project.
appreciate your concern. So because of that, and only because of that, I will let you make it up to me. Some hold grudges, they say I'm not budging. Some get angry, but that ain't me. I'm more inclined to let things be. You'll see, you'll see. Though I feel taken, if I ain't mistaken, there's a way for us to work this through. I'm talking just me and you. No need for running. I'm not funning. No need to let the ego swell. I'm gonna run and tell. I won't run, and I certainly won't tell. I'm just saying, my mind isn't set. It's just a debt, easy to forget. And you can make that up to me.
Make it up to me. No hard feelings, boy. I know how to let things go. You can make it up to me. Yeah. Make it up to me. You just didn't know, boy. You can make it up to me. Come on, come on, come on, yeah.
I know you're wondering why I'm not mad. Such a waste to spend time feeling sad. You saying you're sorry makes you feel better. I'd rather hear it all in a love letter. I'm more in favor of making amends instead of an ending. Here is where the good thing really begins. Start a change to a more positive spin, so you can make that up, my friend.
Make it up to me. No hard feelings, boy. I know how to let things go. You can make it up to
I'm
me.
not mad.
Yeah, make it up to me. You just didn't know, boy. You can make it up to me. Come on, come on, come on, yeah. Make it up to me.
Yeah.
No hard feelings, boy.
No hard feelings.
I know how to let things go. You can make it up to me. Yeah. Make it up to me.
Nice and easy.
You just didn't know, boy. Can make it up to me. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah. Make it up to me.
I know everybody makes mistakes.
We're going to talk about this in just a second.
That's right. Nice and easy.
You can make it up to me. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah.
All the way till tomorrow.
All right, all right, all right.
Okay, cool.
Okay, now commentary.
Well, I already heard something in words. Phil says, sounds good to me. He has listened to it on his system, his monitors, and he says it sounds good to him. Now, that's the mix and everything. Now, the other part is that Max's sites keep crashing on him. Must be a problem on his end. So he's going to check it out a little bit later, I guess, and follow up. I think the part that you're going to probably look at is, I agree, the mix. The mix, I mean, just, the clarity of the mix. And I'm not listening to the monitors that you usually listen on, but I'm pretending like I'm the first time person here, and I'm checking it out, and I've never heard it before. It's just a matter of what you think, what else could be done to it if you think there's more can be gained. But it's...
Well, that's the thing. DeVoe did a really solid lead vocal.
Yeah.
Now, so what happens is when you get that solid, there's that is really good, and then there's another level up that's excellence,
That's
right?
That's right.
And you don't know if you're going to get that.
Right.
So you can keep trying.
That's right.
Or you can be comfortable at this level. So let me throw that in. Then it comes to the background vocals with Kimberly. Typically, given time, I would probably double and triple those.
Of course.
Okay? And I like to do with them singing along with it because it's not perfect, and that's what I kind of want. Then I add the effects.
Yeah.
So there's that. But I don't know, again, if that's worth it. Now, then thirdly, the thing with songs like this, Vic, is that I have to do multiple mixes even to get it clear in my head. Let me say what I mean. I got to do different mixes, usually going from simple to more layered, okay? And like the first mix I would do would have no sax in it,
Right.
okay?
Right.
And I would focus mostly on balancing out the lead vocal
Right.
and that background vocal. Okay, now, in terms of our associates, I intend to give you the tracks a cappella for you to work with, right? so that you can play around with this, because this is where it gets a matter of the remixes, a matter of preference. Okay, but I can tell you one of the first ones, one of the more obvious ones to me, is how and where you put that sax in,
Of course.
because it can be a little cluttered.
Yes, it can.
Okay, but I'm saying to decide where, those are the things that take a lot harder to make the decisions. And usually I do it by doing the different mixes. Like I would do a mix with no sax.
Right.
Then I would do a mix with sax, but not, well, I would do a pretty detailed one. But then I would also do one where it was sax lead.
You know, this makes me think of something else too. And I can't remember the guy. I may have the wrong artist here, but if you was throwing this up, CC Mixter, what have you, and you had Love Shadow or somebody else that said, let me take it, and they were to do their own remix, where would they start at? And I think it's philosophical what you would do.
They would probably take the vocal tracks. See,
Right.
because what typically people do is take the vocal tracks and do their own, replace the music.
Right.
Now I'm going to put all that up there. Like we have an a cappella mix.
Yeah, because see, I think there's also, like I said, it's the part where you say, and I believe this, we're in that day where different types of remixes versus trying to perfect the current one. And I think that's the part I like, when you approach it from a different angle. But you can always spin the sax. You can always do the domination of the vocals. You have a lot.
See, that's the ones to me that you don't know ahead of time. Right. See, in other words, you could do the drill. What I mean do the drill is you pay attention to detail and you do everything that's standard for your track.
Right.
You could go in and do your EQ sweetening.
Right.
Okay, those kinds of things. Now in this case, because we used a sample that was already essentially mixed,
Right.
you're sort of limited with where you're going to do the effects.
Right.
Even though, remember, there's always stuff that you could do for the vocals. So there's some choices to be made here.
Here's something where Phil's actually saying, if you have time to tweak, he'll trust your judgment, and then you have Mac's project that kicks in as well. So
that's why I was saying Mac. See, I say we give Mac every version, right?
Right.
In other words, I'm gonna play a couple of versions, all right, you guys. So remember, that was the latest full mix down.
Right.
But remember, I just said, in my opinion, you should have a couple of other mixes.
Right.
One with the sax out. Okay, where it's
Right.
okay, and then one where you even do it like a sax lead with the background.
Right.
Okay, but now let's take a listen to this a cappella mix. It plays.
And also, Max already said, when everybody's happy, of course, with the final mix, that's when he will make the video. So he inherently, what he's doing is waiting for us to determine.
Oh, well, my thing, I was sort of doing it kind of the other way. I was going to give Mac all the finals and let him pick which one he wanted.
Which, that's the part where you say, how long do you wait?
Yeah, Mac knows, because that's the final. Okay, in other words, what's happening here?
What's wrong?
I'm not getting any audio.
Oh, what from your computer? Okay, all right.
In other words, what I was saying is that mix I just played,
Right.
that's the mix with Kimberly, DeVoe, sax,
Right.
all in it.
Right.
With sax down, mostly.
Right.
Okay, now, Mac, I'm saying that's one mix. Now, if you like that one, you could use that one. But I'm also saying in general with me.
Right.
And whenever I had Paul, because I tend to record Paul, letting him play through the whole song,
Right.
because I record him like that, and it lets him get into the groove, I always end up with an instrumental version. I always thought it was great, because I always felt like I got two versions of the song
Right.
for the money. That I get this version where he just plays through, and then I would cut it all up. Now, that's everybody else's opinion. But I always recorded Paul like that. I would tend to take out the lead.
Right.
I would tell him, but I might indicate which point was emphasized, what part. But in general, I usually try to get a version where he's playing the whole track long. So, Mac, remember, if that's the one you want to use, then I'm cool with that. Okay? I'm totally cool with that. I was just saying,
It's just
there's other mixes.
Nobody's going to know where the tweakings are really going to take place.
Well, let's listen to the one.
And I believe that. I truly believe this. I think when I go listen to other cuts, and they say, here's the release of this one. Like, for example, I know I'm talking to somebody who's high end, but if I'm listening to Justin Timberlake, where he just said, suit and tie, and then all of a sudden on the back end of that, a few months later, they drop a remix in there where it's a little different. Sometimes just lyrics, and sometimes it's something else. It always adds a different flavor. I think it's just a part where they are satisfied that they're going to let's see what pulls people and brands it along the way without trying to say this is the one and only one.
Yeah, and I didn't pull that computer, and on that computer we got it capturing now.
Right.
And I don't want to pull up Cakewalk on that. Right. But I'm just throwing that out, Mac, that typically for me, just as a standard, I could tell you, because it's always an issue to me where I put that sax.
Right.
And I can never decide ahead of time. I have to kind of listen to it over and over again.
Right.
To decide. And then I might do places where I cut it up into pieces and transfer those pieces to different tracks so I could turn off different versions of it.
Right.
And because to me, you have to experiment with stuff like that. You take your time and experiment.
That's right.
That's why I'm saying for those. But if you're comfortable with the mix you have already, I'm down with that. I'm just saying I know that we could do that in next week's session if you guys want.
Right.
If you want me to do a mix down of the other versions. Now, I have some of that already. For example, let's take a listen. The last version I played was from 12:11. It was the full vocal mix down. And so I sent that out to everybody, right? Everybody should have gotten that.
Right.
Now, here's the one from 11:27. 11:27.
Apology accepted. It really is not all that serious. But I do.
No background, no Kimberly Lola.
Appreciate your concern. So because of that, and only because of that, I will let you make it up to me. Some hold grudges, they say I'm not budging. Some get angry, but that ain't me.
This is the one without Kimberly Lola, you guys.
To let things be.
But see how it's not as cluttered?
You'll see.
I would still use the Kim, but I gotta get it in the pocket.
If I ain't mistaken, there's a way for us to work this through.
You may not want Kim and the sax.
Just me and you. No need for running. I'm not funning. No need to let the ego swell. I ain't gonna run and tell. I won't run, and I certainly won't tell. I'm just saying, my mind isn't set. It's just a debt, easy to forget. And you can make
see,
that
so far I like this one better. See, I don't want my vocals. I don't want mine.
No hard feelings. I'm gonna let it go. That's what I'm telling you.
I'm not suggesting my vocals, okay? So leave it go there. Don't even go there.
I know you're wondering why I'm not mad. Such a waste to spend time feeling sad. You saying you're sorry makes you feel better. I'd rather hear it
PMC
all
sax with
alone.
background.
I'm more in favor of making amends instead of an ending. Here is where the good thing really begins. Start a change to a more positive spin, so you can make that up, my friend.
Now remember, you can take the sax out. It has to do with you got to take your time and deal with that background in the sax. You just can't let them go willy-nilly at each other, to me.
Let's try this part.
See, Norman, what I'm saying, now watch. If I had a mix with just the background vocal without the sax, that's the one I didn't do. That's the one I kind of want to hear, though, Norm. I'm with you. That's what I'm suggesting. One of them you might like better.
I have no regrets. I can make it up.
No, Mac. What I'm saying, Mac, is that ultimately there's multiple versions of this. You could have the one you want and tell me which one you want.
I know everybody makes mistakes.
I think next week
It's really easy.
we should play different versions, and you guys, so I can demonstrate it,
All you gotta do is please.
and then you guys can decide what mix. Ultimately, I think it's Mac's choice. Mac, you understand what I'm saying? We think it's your choice.
Forget about all that sorrow. We can start making up from now till tomorrow. That's right. Nice and easy.
Oh wait, I got some other mixes. Okay, I got some other mixes. What is this? Sax, vocal backs.
But there, the thing is that usually that's the options that's afforded. Say if you have a cut that
Like
would
I said,
automatically go
apology
into
accepted.
say the release, that it would have multiple versions. One with acapella, one without the backgrounds, one with sax, and they will call it a different version. So to me, all of it's
Apology
included.
accepted.
But you're trying to find out which one is your lead. What is going to be the lead one that takes?
There's some, and I found some other mixes. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Like this one says sax and vocal backs,
Right.
and I didn't make them MP3 version.
Right. So there's always that person who says, "I'm gonna do the funky version and make it a little bit more this."
And I don't have any problem with that.
Yeah. But we know the original.
Okay, this is the one with sax and background.
Right. This is the one that if I saw, or if I heard hip hop or some people trying to put some R&B actually in it, they would take this kind of version and say, "Let me add my flavor to it."
See what I'm
Probably
saying,
speed
Mac?
it up or do something like
But see what I'm saying, Mac? See what Vic is saying? I want y'all to hear that. I'm going to give y'all all these versions. I forgot I had done this already. How you like that? I'm down with the vote. Whatever process y'all want.
Yes, you can.
I thought,
Make it
hey,
up to
Norman,
me,
I'm trying to
baby.
see if I did that. I'm looking for it.
No hard feelings. I know how to let it go. Come on, make it up. That's why I'm telling you.
I gotta find. I know what version you want, Norman. That's the same one. I don't know if I did that. With the backgrounds, see, different ones with the backgrounds. I know. That's what we'll do next week. Because that's what I don't have. I'm gonna give y'all every version.
Yes, you can.
That's what I'm saying. Sax and Kimberly. That's what Norman's saying too, right? Kimberly lead with different mixes of other stuff around it.
Let it go.
We'll do that next week.
Yes, you can.
Hey, thank you,
Nice and
Norman.
easy.
I appreciate that, Norman.
That's why I'm letting you know.
Make it up to me. No hard feelings, boy.
We're just human.
You know how to let things go.
We all make mistakes.
You can make it up to me. Yeah.
It's real easy. All you have to do is please me. And that you can make up to me.
Hey, so we know we want to do the vocal mixes next time. That's one thing we'll put up. That we will do next week.
Come on, we can forget. Because there's no regrets.
But I'll get these versions out to everybody.
I want to forget about the sorrow and start working on making up all the way till tomorrow.
I need something at that end. Hey, but check it out. Let me tell you what we got, which I'll get out to everybody. Remember, Paul did 3 takes of the sax. I got a version with each take. Okay? And, then I have the version we did from 1127. And I'm going to replay once again the latest version. That was the one that I thought was a little... But remember, what we will do next week is do the different mixes of that. Okay? But I'll give everybody copies of every version.
Right.
Okay? And you can just keep the ones or throw away the ones you don't want or whatever you want to do. But I'll give everybody copies, so those sax. Then, the issue is, I'm also... plus every take a cappella. So that means all 3 sax takes a cappella, just sax. Then the vocals a cappella, right? And the backgrounds a cappella, right? So that you have every piece separate too.
Right.
Right. Okay? Now I'm still gonna play just because Norman came in. I want everybody to remind this was the latest mix with everything in it.
Apology accepted. It really is not all that serious. But I truly I do appreciate your concern. So because of that, and only because of that, I will let you make it up to me. Some hold grudges, they say I'm not budging. Some get angry, but that ain't me. I'm more inclined to let things be. You'll see, you'll see. Though I feel taken, if I ain't mistaken, there's a way for us to work this through. I'm talking just me and you. No need for running. I'm not funning. No need to let the ego swell. I ain't gonna run and tell. I won't run, and I certainly won't tell. I'm just saying, my mind isn't set. It's just a debt, easy to forget. And you can make that up to me.
Make it up to me. No hard feelings, boy. I know how to let things go. You can make it up to me.
We might even be able to get Kimberly to come back in and double that.
Make it up to me.
Oh, she would.
You just
I think the best thing you could do is give DeVoe and Kimberly one more studio session shot, one only, and let them add whatever they can, and then you go and say, let me see where I can put this at. Just one time.
Such
I'm
a
down
waste
with
to
that.
spend
Yeah.
time
The main thing I want is Kimberly to double and triple those
You
backgrounds.
saying you're sorry makes you feel better. I'd rather hear it all in a love letter. I'm more in favor of making amends instead of an ending. Here's where the good thing really begins. Start a change to a more positive spin. So you can make that up, my friend.
make it up.
Yeah, I think Max is going to start too, because even if I do a remix, Max, the time is going to be the exact same. It's just a matter of how I would balance that sax and those backgrounds. It might not even be worth it to change up the track.
Well,
Really?
and the texture of the video, You know, a lot of it is
Yeah.
what you it's the creativity of what the message is in the video. But a lot of the temper, you know, the metronome, the speed, and everything's going to remain the same so far.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Right.
What I'm saying is, these kind of remixes you do, but I'm never convinced one is better than others. The one you like.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of tracks like that, Mac, because I typically will do 4, 5, 6 mixes. I always do that sax full length mix.
Can make it up to me. Come on, come on, come on, yeah. Make it up to me.
I know everybody makes mistakes.
Oh,
PMC and I both think he can go on this. I'm gonna next week. I tell you what. Let's do what Vic said. Let's see if we can get everybody in one more time. If there's no rush.
Doesn't mean it can't start off with the main one.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think he can go on because the track's going to be the same length, man.
You're adding and pulling back, but the general message of a video is the concept of it. The rest of it basically is going to stay the same. Sometimes people may say, well, you know, I'm going to push the background vocals in. I'm going to loop this. I'm going to do that. But the message of this vocal is in the story and what is being said. So the video takes on a concept to me. It's what
That's why he can go on too.
Right.
Specifically, Mac, unless I change the tempo or any of that stuff, the track will be exactly the same length. You should be able to actually just trade up any audio if you want.
Right.
But I don't even see that you really need to. The only issue I have is that I would do different mixes relative to that sax and background.
Right.
But I feel like PMC said, there's nothing. That's just because I would do that anyway.
Yeah, this is.
I would
this
just do it
back. It'll be different if you were turning this into an R&B or a hip hop group. Then the creativity of the video can change. But if it stays like this, you're just moving parts up: background vocals, sax forward, sax back, delay on Kimberly's vocal. They're all really textures for the most part. But the video concept, run with it, man, because it's already got its brand. It's already got its identity right now.
Well, exactly.
And then the extra. And here's the thing. This is the part I love. You know, thank God for a lot of the cats in music, especially hip hop, rap. They never begin or end with one video. They always keep bringing extras on their mixes if it adds something different. So there's nothing that says you can only do one. I think the part that you just do, you start off with the one. If you're moved to do something else because you all of a sudden hit it a certain way, what's stopping? Is it cost? If there's cost, time, then that's another issue.
No, that's the part I like. See, to me, Vic will tell you one of the things I always said with my partners when I wrote was if we ever had disagreements with doing different versions of a song, we would just do every version.
That's right. we had more than enough time.
So we've never really had any real, because we would do the different versions.
Right.
And then to me, that's when you sit back and have a beer and chill and play the stuff because your opinion changes.
Right.
So I don't feel real strong about those kinds of things. I always do different kinds of mixes. And with Paul Russo, I told you, I always do versions where I have the whole sax.
Right.
And I was just, that's where I was getting distracted because I was thinking of other versions of things I could show you.
Right.
Of similar, of things that Paul did with me.
Right.
Of the same kinds of thing. And I didn't, for example, see, Paul, you know, I would tell him it's pretty much like pay by the hour.
Right.
But he would get so much work done, I would end up wanting to give him more money. And so when we did Flow, you know, he did a flute.
Right.
He did a soprano sax. And to me, when you approach the tracks like that, and Vic knows that because I have, you know, since I have the luxury.
Well, I mean, the bottom line is that I think people want to go ahead and say, hey, let's go ahead and use Video the way it's supposed to be, where everybody inserts their own brand around it instead of everybody, you know, speculating. Put it up there, see what people do with it. That's the whole purpose of Video, right? To collaborate in that way, right? Not just to live or die off of one version, but to say, hey, look what I've done with it. So to me, I think it speaks for itself.
Quick examples. I'll play a few just to have fun. Just to play about a minute or so. Paul Russo on all of these, right? Here he's playing flute. There's a song called Flow. It's all me and samples. I'm saying I would do the same kind of a mix on that other track with Paul in the background.
Okay.
I want to give you another example. Okay, give you a different version.
Right.
Okay, here we go. Same track. Paul, same thing with sax. Soprano sax.
Creation comes so easy. Why nobody knows?
No.
Inspiration's there to tease me.
Like a waterfall.
Like a waterfall, it flows. Flow, flow. We just let it go. We just let it go. We let it flow.
See, my point is, I think we have the luxury of doing multiple versions and even putting them on the same release, right? We don't even have to trip it. We can actually have people vote. See which ones they like. So this is example. See, why I'm playing this is an example of my same approach. It's fairly methodical. You do at least the main mixes where it's lead and sax, lead and background and sax. Do all of those at least on GP.
We just let it go. We let it flow.
So watch what Paul does. See, I'm trying to let you hear the part where Paul comes back.
We just let it go. We let it flow. We just let it go. We let it flow.
But because we have the other versions, similar kind of style song.
We just let it go. We let it flow.
I'll skip ahead. Where's the damn sax?
Flow.
So anyway, my point being, that's why I think we should do that. But here's the thing. I also feel kind of like PMC. I don't know if that's worth Mac waiting for all those versions, right?
Well, I mean, you guys are working with the same tempo. I mean,
I'm not going to change the tempo. I'm going to just do those different.
I think the only time you wait for a change in video is if
Yeah,
it goes from jazz.
I'm kind of with PMC, even though Mac wants us, I guess, to make a definitive statement.
Yeah, I'm saying this. If it changes genres, I'm all for waiting.
It's not going to
It's not going to change genres.
No, we're not talking about that. I'm just talking about different variations on the theme. And I told you the specific ones.
Yeah.
Sax and backgrounds, right?
Right.
Sax, then the lead, the plain one like Norman likes to. In other words, I'll make every version, because what you do is you mix every part, and then you just turn stuff off and export it.
Right.
So I can make every version, and then we can even have people vote.
Right.
Okay?
Yep. Yeah. That's it.
So that's the main thing for the Collab project. Now,